Hello, thank you so much for having me. I know we're about to talk about a very serious topic, and so I appreciate being able to express myself and having this opportunity to talk with you all about it. So, what was my first thought when I found out that I had COVID? I honestly thought I was asymptomatic. It's interesting how God works. I'm so grateful for this. I was actually scheduled for a procedure. And they said a few days before, we need you to take the COVID test, the one that goes to your brain. And I was already nervous about that. They said no call is a good thing. And so I'm literally on a call for work and I get a phone call and I'm like, no way. And sure enough, they say that I had COVID. And so I was like, okay, well, I must be asymptomatic. Within 2 hours, I was in the bed, tired, exhausted, started realizing that I had the symptoms. I lost my sense of smell, which that had occurred a few days before, but I didn't realize it until I got that phone call. And so I'm just grateful that my family was able to remain safe. And because of that procedure and my need to get the test, I was able to find out quickly and much faster than if it just had occurred on its own without my getting the procedure done. So I'm grateful for that. Did people treat me differently? I only told really family and friends. I think there is kind of a stigma, even though it's been a year, there's just this whole thing that, at least for me, and I know a few other people, where you don't really want to tell people that you have contracted COVID, I guess because it is still something we don't know a whole lot about. And so my family didn't treat me differently when I had it. It was actually afterwards that I realized, okay, in terms of hugging my family or being in their personal space or going to see friends. Like I told one friend, as soon as, I was getting out of COVID, they were preparing the barbecue. And I was like, oh, I want to come over. They're like, hold on, we know you recovered, but we still need a little bit of more time. And so even though the doctor said, okay, you're no longer contagious, just realizing that it takes a minute for family and friends to maybe kind of accept that for themselves. And so I wanted to be respectful of their space. And, this is the first time that COVID had really touched home for my immediate family. So I understood that and wanted to be respectful. What did I learn more about myself? So I am an ambivert. I'm an extroverted introvert. And I realized that at my core, I am an introvert and I love myself. I'm working on that a long time. But once I was in a situation where I was forced to be alone and be by myself, I realized that I really do enjoy time by myself, And so, yes, I was doing work as much as I could with the fatigue. I was on social media, I was FaceTiming friends, but that only takes up so much time. I still had to deal with my own thoughts about myself and about my life. And I realized that I'm doing well in that area. I enjoy being by myself and I appreciated that alone time. What did I learn more about life in general? I really learned that life is precious. And so I'm 31 years old. I know of people my age and younger who have died from COVID. I know people who have been in ICU, who have lost family members, loved ones. And so I'm just grateful to still be alive. It was a lot to realize that this is a disease, a virus that has taken hundreds of thousands of lives. It has affected millions of people. And so I do not take that lightly. And so I just think I just have a greater appreciation for life in general and not taking the days that I have on this earth for granted. What am I more appreciative of? I definitely appreciate my family more. They really came through for me. I used to live in an apartment last year by myself, and now I live in a house with my family, and I'm so grateful even for the timing of that, because I don't know how I would have done it without being with my family. And so I appreciate the little notes that, they would leave me while they're dropping my food off at the door, and just them FaceTiming me, even though they were on the other side of the door. That meant a lot to me because it's not just about getting over the illness or having this virus, but also it does a number on your mind that you are in isolation for that long by yourself. Yes, I said I love myself. I enjoy it. At the same time, I'm really close to my family. And so I wanted that time with them and miss them dearly. And so I was just grateful for their support. What am I currently working on and excited for? Well, I am an assistant professor of communication studies. And so part of what has been inspired from that and just my love for education and communication in general is that I'm working on an educational coaching business to help students navigate the hidden curriculum essentially of higher ed and how to navigate that, to know what it really means to be a successful student beyond just the grades or getting scholarships, but what it means to succeed in college and beyond. And in addition to that, I am a filmmaker, and so I've been focusing on writing due to COVID going on. I wanted to remain as safe as possible. So I've developed a short film, which was, I'm in the process of working on that. That was inspired through experiences with COVID and just, I used to want to be a medical doctor. And so medicine has inspired this piece. And I've finished a feature film and I'm really excited about. I'm in the final phases of editing in terms of as much finalization you can have before sending it to executive producers. And I'm really excited about that and feel like I'm operating in my purpose. And so that's really important to me. My goal to accomplish before the end of the year would be to produce that short film. Yes, like I said, I enjoy writing. I enjoy directing and all that. I want a finished product on somebody's screen, on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, wherever. I just want to see my baby out there. Not just in my head, not just on paper, but I want to see actors and everyone coming together to make it happen. How has contracting COVID changed my life? I think I take my health more seriously. I was telling family and friends that I don't think I've ever researched medicine or anything medically related as I have when it comes to this COVID vaccine. You know, and this is crazy, I was scheduled to get the vaccine early February and I canceled because of the procedure, because even though they said I could get the vaccine, I was just nervous. It was new to me. And then I got COVID the next week. And so then I started to research, okay, well, what happens if you had COVID and now you want the vaccine? And so just focusing on my health, taking care of myself, being kind to my body in terms of what I eat and exercising. And so I think that's a big way in terms of how it has changed my life. Okay, a few positive statements that I can make that I believe would give others hope and have given me hope would be, I love the quote by Napoleon Hill, which says, you know, the time will never be right, just right. Start where you stand and better tools will come along as you go. Because I've had a history of being a perfectionist and that can be stressful. And so I've just, since the beginning of the year, been focused on, I feel like God wants me to take each day one day at a time and appreciate that day and the opportunities I have right in front of me. Don't stress, don't worry about tomorrow. God's there, He's got it taken care of. So you just focus on today and what you have in front of you. And I think that makes a difference because you'll see the beauty that is around you. Okay. So what am I more appreciative of? I would say I'm definitely more appreciative of the little things. Just taking time to notice the breeze and fresh air because we wear these masks so much. And it was the little things. And so I think COVID has taken a lot. And if we start by appreciating the beauty in the little things, it can add to a lot of hope. And that's what I hope talking about this experience does for people, is realize there's hope beyond COVID, beyond our current circumstances. We're all going through something. And so just remembering to be kind to ourselves and kind to others during this time. And so I appreciate life. I appreciate the little things and I appreciate those closest to me. And I thank God that I'm here to share. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm grateful to be able to share this experience. I've kind of kept it to myself. Not many people even know that I contracted COVID. And so to be able to talk about it is therapeutic for me in a sense. And so I'm grateful and hope that this blesses and encourages somebody else.